slight rant. Um, so there's a VTuber called Maury Calliope. Calliope can be pronounced a couple different ways. Calliope, Calliope, and Calliope. I say Calliope or Calliope. I kind of interchange the two because one is faster to say and one is more elegant to say, but it's also kind of slightly slower. Calliope versus Calliope. Calliope, 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 Calliope. I just forgot which one is which. Either way, I interchanged the two. Calliope. Who the fuck says Calliope? Let's be real here. Who the fuck says Calliope? I ironically say Calliope when I'm messing around, but who the fuck says Calliope? And let me bring up another random tangent. Harry Potter. Okay, so Harry Potter. Harry Potter has the character Hermione, right? I've never read the books. I want to read the books. I've never read the books, but I've seen all the movies when they came out in theaters. Pretty certain. Or if not all the movies in theaters, I think the only one I saw on DVD then, or VHS rather, may have been the first movie. But I've seen pretty much all of them in theaters, if not all of them in theaters. Either way, Hermione. Pretty cool character. So there's a guy called Soviet Womble. Hilarious guy. Love his stuff. 10 out of 10. Recommend his channel. 100%. Fan-fucking-tastic. In a random video of his, I forget which one. He's playing some space game. It doesn't really matter. He's more just talking about random stuff. So he's like, yeah, so Harry Potter. So there's this character, the friend of Ron and Harry. And he's like, yeah, the female. It was like, everybody just kept calling this other person Hermione. And it's like, who the fuck is Hermione? Then he was like, oh, you mean Hermione? And I'm like, what the fuck? Best fucking thing. What? Hermione. It's just stuck with me. Probably because I've seen all of the Harry Potter movies. I haven't seen Fantastical Beasts or the other thing that is like part of it but isn't. I don't know. It is, but it kind of feels like any other movie that has been tagged on after a long period of time. I'm like, even if it is part of it, I don't like that it's part of it. I'll probably eventually watch it, but I don't know. It's kind of the reason with Lord of the Rings. I love the first three. All the others are like, oh, I guess those are a thing. I'll get around to it, probably. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe not. Probably. I don't know. So, back to, Calliope. Is that there's, a really good podcast series called Magnus Archives. So in it, the main character and this other character, they're talking, right? And he's like, yeah, he's talking about Calliope, blah, 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 Calliope. And this other person comes in, just randomly says, oh, I've heard it pronounced, Calliope. And he was, like, Calliope? I think I've heard of it being pronounced Calliope. It's like, or maybe not. Oh yeah, by the way, they're British. Soviet Womble's also British. So, she was like, oh yeah, I've even heard people pronounce it Calliope. And he was like, Calliope? People pronounce it Calliope? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, who who pronounces it as Calliope? And she's like, oh, I think Americans. And he's like, ah, yes, that's right, Americans. And I'm over here like, I've never heard anyone pronounce Calliope as Calliope. It's also possible I've just never heard anybody else pronounce Calliope as Calliope or Calliope to begin with. I personally don't know. However, I've never heard anybody pronounce it as Calliope. No, I have had to have heard it pronounced as Calliope or Calliope sometime in the past, 100%. Um, I just don't recall Calliope. Hermione is another one that I've never heard before. So that's interesting. Leave it up to the British to mispronounce things very strangely, just like us Americans do. And I fucking love it. It is just quintessentially perfect. I also like the spellings, but that's either here nor there at the moment. Um, so yeah. I just felt like sharing that. So yeah.